As I mentioned, the latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated.
Hello, welcome to Financial Stockholm. I'm Christopher Crystal, and tonight we have a fantastic trading coach, Anders Haglund. And we've had some interesting events in the market, and we have some coming. And so Anders and I will kind of discuss. We had the jobs figures today. This is the March 10th, Friday, 2023. So we'll give you some food for thought over the weekends. Anders, you want to just introduce yourself, and then I can fire away some questions.
Okay, my name is Anders Haglund, and I'm an investor trader in Sweden, and I'm also a trading coach, coaching traders. I mostly use a combination of fundamental and technical analysis when I do my work.
Excellent. And as you said, Sweden, and we beautiful Stockholm behind me. We're going to focus on the Swedish market, and I was going to ask you a little bit about Spotify, but that's only because it's a Swedish company, and I won't ask you because it's trading on the New York and then the DAX. So, but we had the U.S. figures out, and the United States today is it's had a lot of wind out of its sails. One of the reasons is because the jobs figure came in at 311,000. The expectation was around 200 and change. Now there are some strikers who rejoined the workforce, so that's a little bit higher as a result than what they had written for the 200 and change. And that's similar to what you saw in January, where you had 100,000 strikers, quote unquote, rejoining the workforce. And then, Biden's unveiled a new tax plan, and market always goes down on taxes. Most people don't realize that, but, Bill Clinton did cut taxes on capital gains, and the market went up when he did that. It's called Hauser's Law. With this, and then we have the Silicon Valley Bank, which maybe has some questionable holdings, or maybe is a little insolvent looking. It's had a run on the bank. They had to halt shares, and all the other banks are being affected with contagion. And so one of the areas I think we should talk about would be Swedish banks, because I think personally Swedish banks are, I think they're a little bit better shape than the American banks, but that's not advice for people. But so that's one. And then you love Investor, and who wouldn't? It's a great company. And they hold a lot of great companies. So maybe we could talk about Investor, and their dividend play, and just from there. So what are your thoughts after this very tough week?
Well, we are in some kind of breaking point right now. We make it or break it. So we are trading at some important support levels in the indexes, and people are very uncertain about the interest and the markets and the economy, and now they have the banking sector to think about also. So that's a little bit too much maybe for people, but we'll see how this plays out, because it's also quite oversold market, and everybody is scared. So maybe the weak holders have already sold their shares. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we'll have to look at the volume to see if if it is the weak hands. But I would agree that there's a lot on for people to think about, and the interest rate cycle is certainly one of those. We have the Swedish economist, and some of the global economists raising their thoughts, or raising what they think will be the peak interest rates. So I think that's probably pressing on the market. And then maybe some are fooled by this jobs figure, and the revisions downward on the previous month were only something like 13,000. So yeah, like you said, we have some breaking points. And then is there anything that looks good for you, or is it mostly just kind of a wait and see mode?
It's just right now. It's more wait and see. We have the long term. I think still you can argue for is upwards in Sweden, but it's important levels we are at now. So hopefully they will hold. And then if it holds, then you have this great buying opportunity now because everybody is scared. So you should buy stocks when the blood is on the street, so to speak. But
Yeah.
if we buy now, I think you should watch out and see if these support levels holds or not. But I think in the long term, I'm quite optimistic. So I see it on the bright side so far until I'm proven wrong. And that may be next week, we'll see. But I want these levels to hold, and I want the US markets to also to turn upwards. But if that comes, I mean, if it's continues down, the Swedish market won't hold either. So
yeah. So what are your break points where you say, okay, this is time to bail, or this is time to really reconsider? Do you have any break points in your mind, or any?
If I watch at the OMX Stockholm index, it's Stockholm 30 index, and it's around this 2180, 2200, that area somewhere is rather important. It would not easier for me to see what's going on if those levels holds. And if those goes below those, I'm getting much more uncertain about the market.
Gotcha. Yep.
And
That's
we
okay.
we are close at 2192, so we are in that area right now. So
yeah. So we're in that zone, and it's a good idea to keep an eye out. And like you said, next week could be the week where you get broken, and then you'd have to reassess and say where to come back in. Any what would be the? I mean, obviously, if we see an upside, the worst thing to do is to get triggered into the market on a short-term rally that then breaks into a bear trap. Any thoughts on that, or?
Well, then you have to have some kind of risk strategy then, to stop loss strategy, something that keeps you out of the market, puts you out of the market in that case, if you are a short time trader.
Yeah.
So that's very important if you're trading in this short time horizon. If you're a long-term investor, the market is always up in the long run.
In it for the long term.
Yeah. So but for people like me who follows the market, 6 months is very long periods.
Yeah.
So but in a few years' time, this will be a very good point to invest. But the ride, it could be a bumpy ride.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. So we'll keep our eyes peeled and be ready for action if next week is a trigger out, or if we can see the holding. Could be, we'll keep an eye for the entry points. And then so at the end of the month, I think you're doing are you doing a presentation? Are you doing a coaching day, or?
We're doing a presentation on the 29th of March, I think.
Okay. And I guess it's in Stockholm or anywhere like sunny Malaga.
Well, I could be wherever, Malaga or Spain, whatever.
You could be persuaded to go to the sunny weather. We'll have to work on that.
Agnieszka Palatset, 29th of March in Stockholm.
Okay, excellent. Okay,
then
well,
these levels holds, and if it also buying opportunity or the levels are broken. That'd be very, very interesting to see.
Okay. All right. So,
Can also the long-term interest has gone down. Right, interest rates has gone down now, so that's also very interesting, I think.
yeah, I'm wondering about the U.S. debt, the debt ceiling, and what's going to happen, how that's going to play out. Go ahead.
They usually manage it after.
Yeah, there's some negotiating that usually happens, but we're in unusual times. So maybe we would see a default. Who knows? The bets on a default have been rising in the U.S. So we've seen a rise in some of the CDS, trading, but we'll see. I cannot say that would really be good for the markets. I think that would be.
I mean, as an investor, I don't really care.
No.
They have been doing this several times before, and
yeah.
I mean, US is not running out of money. They can print new dollars whenever they want, so no problem.
Yeah, so far so good, right? I mean, it's nice to be your own bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Anders. We'll put the links in for the presentation at the end of the month, and
Yes.
With the address, and everybody can mail you and hopefully discuss with you trading strategies. And thank you.
Thank you.
And by the way, I just wanted to say the last time we talked about an investor, and I think you had a fantastic call on it. I was a little bearish on it, and I thought maybe it would dip down, but you had an excellent call, and really it just went up from there. And I think just wanted to congratulate you on that fantastic trade.
Thank you.
So excellent.
Okay.
All right, Anders, listen, have a fantastic weekend, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Have a fantastic weekend, you too.
We will.